Welcome to the version 1 SAM Teams Fireside Chat series. These videos cover a wide range of software license related topics. I'm Gary Palmer and I'm joined today by my colleague Kevin Barnes, who's version 1's lead IBM licensing consultant. We're here to discuss the impact of recent pricing and other contractual changes made by IBM software. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
In our previous videos, you covered the main changes that IBM has made both to its pricing and licensing, and this includes the need for customer organizations now to declare their IBM license position. You also mentioned that you would talk about the fixes. Could you explain a bit more about that?
Sure. So I outlined that once you've established your entitlement position and your usage position, and you've identified the differences between the two, you need to get into fixing things. This is by no means just about decommissioning software you shouldn't have used. There's a lot more you can do.
Okay, for example.
Yeah, so one good example is that you may not only be deploying ILMT incorrectly, but you may also not be ensuring that ILMT is correctly reflecting your usage.
But I thought that ILMT reflected usage. That was its purpose.
Right. Well, a few things there. So ILMT is limited. It only covers 3 of the metrics. It only covers PVU, RVU, MAPC, and the VPC metrics, only a small number of the metrics, and those outside of containers as well. And it only shows, in theory, what you've used over that period.
Okay, so it's only part of the picture.
It is. And even the usage figures that it shows are not an accurate reflection of what you're using or what you should be paying for. You need to look at that usage. You need to ensure that the bundling is being applied correctly, and you need to ensure that the software is correctly classified in ILMT. ILMT can't do that. That needs human analysis.
Okay, so it's the bundling and the classification elements that need a human being to be involved.
Yeah, exactly. So if I give you an example of both. So bundling, ILMT may go out and discover a product called Business Process Manager. Business Process Manager uses webs for application server network deployment, so long as it is only used for Business Process Manager. Now, ILMT can't distinguish between the two. It can't say whether WASND is being used for something else, so it leaves it in. The upshot of that is that unless you do the manual analysis, the manual classification, manual bundling, you will be paying 10K too much if you just go per core, 10K too much if you just go on what ILMT is saying.
Okay, so it's not as simple as what you have installed or deployed, but how you're using it.
Correct.
An ILMT isn't capable of making that distinction, which must lead to avoidable extra costs.
Absolutely. Another, to look at what I call the classification side, ILMT will also go out and it will detect software and report back that you're using it. But if you are using software in a DR cold or DR warm standby configuration, you don't need to pay for it. As a general rule of thumb, some products you do need to pay for it. But the point is that ILMT can't see that configuration, so it just reports it as being used. And that exercise in itself can save you, I typically estimate, 5% of your maintenance bill if you look at that. So there's huge savings to be made there.
Yeah, I can see that. And what can be done if there is an exposure?
Okay, many things. The obvious one, decommission the software, get rid of it. But I talked about gotchas, classic gotcha here. You may decommission the software, but your ILMT reports that you provide are typically for the last 90 days. So if you decommission a piece of software in month 1 it's still going to be showing for another 3 months. Yeah, so ILMT will still see that software was in use in an audit situation. So you've got to be careful about that.
Okay.
Another kind of key point to make really is that these activities, these fixes, they're not just one-offs, right? You need to stay on, you need to introduce enduring processes to make sure that you're staying on top of this. Your estate will change, you know, you'll deploy more IBM software, and you need to be going through the classification and the bundling on an ongoing basis. And remember, ILMT only reports a subset of your product usage. So you need to kind of stay on top of all the other stuff as well.
Excellent. That's really, really useful information to have. So thanks very much, Kevin. That brings to a close to this session. This video is part of a series covering a wide range of license related topics, which you can find in our SAM YouTube playlist below. You can also review our content on LinkedIn by using the hashtag #SamVideoChat. And finally, if you have a license concern or would like to understand how an IT project could impact your enterprise license position, please contact us for initial complimentary consultation at version1.com/contact. Thank you.